I'm going to just continue to beat people over the head with this because of all of the things the NBA does get wrong. I think making people care more about NBA games by adding a little more juice to it, no matter how small, is a good move. And everybody, for the most part, pans the NBA Cup stuff. But we did get juice out of it. We got the Bucks and the Pacers hating each other. We got good games. We got very stupid courts. There's just a little bit more. And if you can add just a little bit more juice to stuff, like, that's good, right?
Yeah.
Like, it just a little bit more. It's never going to be the thing that you're just like, yeah, I'm really tuned in. Maybe, you know what? Maybe it does. Maybe it does eventually go into something where it does mean more. Like with basically every cup competition in every other sport.
Mm-hmm.
Use the Four Nations in the NHL. That was a massive springboard for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And everybody was like, it's whatever. And then we were all locked into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
because that was replaced the All-Star festivities.
But they made something that didn't have juice again.
Mm-hmm.
And in the early regular season, what word did I just use? I have a stroke? Good God. In the early regular season, the general fan doesn't care. And if you can make the general fan care, good. Now, the tournament's going to start Halloween night, October 31st. It's going to be a part of Amazon Prime. Got a hold of this. So now you're adding a little bit more appointment viewing to it. And what they do now, not now, or what they've done is for the cup groups, they do the draw.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the thing in, like, if you're talking about soccer, they do it the best when they do the Champions League. The great part about that is they just have the pouch with the chips.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest club in the world could play a team that qualified for the Champions League from the smallest league in the world that qualifies for the Champions League in round one, or two of the biggest clubs in the world can play in the very first round.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, who knows? You know what I mean? Like, and you get these cup draws. Now, they split them up East and West. In the West, in Group A, this is, for me, very clearly the weakest group. The Thunder, the Timberwolves, the two banner teams in there, the Western Conference Finals opponents. Then the Kings, Suns, and Jazz. In Group B, the Lakers and the Clippers. So you get the LA tie, the Grizzlies, Mavs, and Pelicans.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one real doo-doo team in there, in the Pelicans. There's going to be a draw with basically everybody else some capacity. In the final group, Group C, this is what you would unequivocally call the group of death, no matter which conference or whatever. Like, this is what you talk about draws, like the one that just like, what the hell happened here? The Rockets, Nuggets, Warriors, Blazers, and Spurs.
Yeah.
You probably have two of the three best teams in the Western Conference,
mm-hmm.
in the Rockets and the Thunder. I'm sorry, the Rockets and the Nuggets. You have the Warriors,
mm-hmm.
who they're still trying to figure out what the hell they are with Jonathan Kuminga and what.
But they're still the Warriors.
They're still the Warriors. Again, they're a good team. And the Spurs, who have the number 2 overall pick, Victor
mm-hmm.
Wembanyama,
on the way up,
and De'Aaron Fox and Steph Castle, and it's like they're probably going to be a 41, 500 or better team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they went 42-40 this year, that wouldn't surprise me. Would that surprise you?
No.
And then the Blazers, and you're like, well, maybe cup viewing won't be as great for the Blazers this year. I will say, I was in the building for the cup games they had.
Uh-huh.
There was extra juice in the building, not only from the fans but from the players. They're like, no, you can there's a lot of like eye rolling about it, and then come game time, everybody's looking around like, yeah, no, this feels different.
Yeah.
And like the jokes that were being made at the NBA Finals is that the cup games had more pomp and circumstance around them than the finals. The reason you're saying that is not because the cup games didn't have pomp and circumstance, because the finals was lacking what the cup games were.
Yeah.
Which, again, NBA getting many things wrong, like not putting your finals on a platform it deserves to be on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the list is long.
Yeah, not televising the starting lineups.
Or all of the things that go around it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. This is on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
What is Thursday Night Football become? It was already appointment viewing, but it's become appointment viewing. Do you remember the first game that was on Amazon? how everyone was blown away
Oh, yeah.
by the coverage.
Yep.
Not just like who they had on the desk and how they were setting up the game. It was the best picture anybody had ever seen
The
for a football
production
game.
value.
They're like, oh, these guys are taking this serious.
Yeah.
You know, you could watch the game either in the standard form, or you could be a nerd like me and watch the live analytics and the tracking and everything that kind of went around it. They rolled the red carpet out, and they're like, this is just a Thursday night game. We're just this good at this.
Yeah.
Now, if Prime does that with this, I don't care what the ratings are. Make it matter. Give me all the glitz and the glamour and just make me feel good.
Yep.
This is where the NBA can make some hay. And Amazon does not become the behemoth that they are without doing things the right way.
Yeah.
Now, we can talk about their delivery services and making delivery drivers pee in bottles and all those kind of things. But as far as their branding, their marketing, how they do things, particularly in sports and in live events, no one does it better. You could make an argument maybe for Apple doing some stuff that's pretty impressive, YouTube doing some stuff that's pretty impressive, but I would say Amazon is first in class, first in slot in their live event presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Would you disagree?
They are so, and well, especially for being so new.
They came out and said, we are going to conquer this space.
Yeah.
Which is kind of terrifying because Amazon taking over the world is not that far away.
Right.
Yeah, that's another discussion. But just run through the Eastern Conference real quick. And the A group, you've got Cleveland, Indiana, Atlanta, Toronto, Washington. Yeah. In the B group, Boston, Detroit, Orlando, Brooklyn, Philly. And then in C group, New York, Milwaukee, Chicago, Miami, Charlotte. God, the East sucks.
Yeah. That's rough, man. That's rough.
Somebody had a comment on my podcast the other day, and I didn't have time to answer it with what I was talking about. Like, why is the East so bad? I think somebody actually texted in the other day too. And the short answer was luck and ownership.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you look at ownership in the East, the Raptors are in shambles. The Wizards are finally starting to figure stuff out. The Celtics just got sold. The Charlotte Hornets just got sold. The Miami Heat, Mickey Arison is not a guy who dabbles in it because he lost a ton of money and then was able to kind of gain it back post-COVID. The Knicks and Dolan, 25 years of obscurity, and now they fired their coach after the best year in a quarter decade. And then luck. LeBron was the number 1 overall pick, but then goes to Miami, then goes to LA. Like, look at the top picks and the ones that have hit and the ones that have mattered. Who here? Like the top picks, like Cleveland, Evan Mobley, really good, but Donovan Mitchell came from the West.
Yeah.
Darius Garland, really good, but not that guy. Pacers, none of those guys are top picks. Hawks, Trae Young, but is he that guy? The Raptors, Scotty Barnes is good, but not that guy. Washington, they don't have a guy. The Celtics, it's been a while. They got Tatum and Brown. Pistons, Cade. Orlando, the reason why they're getting better is because Franz and Paulo.
Yeah.
The Nets, ugh. The 76ers, now VJ Edgecombe might be one of them ones, but Paul George was a guy who was in the East and went West. Now he's there. Embiid, yeah. Knicks, yeah, they've got Cat now. Cat came from the West.
Yep.
Brunson was second round pick. Milwaukee, Giannis, into the lottery.
Also from the West.
Chicago,
Yeah.
nothing there. Miami, Bam, Harrow, but like your end of lottery guys.
Yeah.
Charlotte, meanwhile, look at the West. Chet. Now, SGA and Jalen are, 11th overall picks.
Right.
Minnesota, Ant Edwards, number 1. Sacramento, the Suns, Book, but he end of lottery. Jazz, But the Lakers, you've got LeBron and Luka, the top picks. Memphis, Ja, top pick. Jaren, top pick. Dallas, Cooper Flag. Before that, Luka. Like, you just got to go down the list.
Yeah.
New Orleans, Zion. Rockets, you've got numerous top picks. Denver, not one of them ones because you got the luckiest draw you ever had in the 41st overall pick in the Quesarito commercial.
Right. Man.
But Golden State, they got lucky because the Minnesota Timberwolves took 2 point guards in front of Steph Curry.
Right. Man.
And found money in Draymond Green. Jimmy Butler, last pick of the first round. Portland, they've got some good picks, but San Antonio, number 1 overall pick, number 2 overall pick, number 3 overall pick. Like, it's luck. That's what it is.
Yep, absolutely.
And then ownership.
Yes.
And that's where you kind of see this stuff all kind of shape out. But I'm I'm mildly excited for the NBA Cup and Amazon Prime and everything they're going to kind of wrap around that.
Yeah, I'll be, interested to see how coverage changes this year with the new networks. Because just hopefully we'll get rid of a lot of the ESPNification of the NBA studio shows.
We can only hope.